You're one of the low-key, most successful people in entertainment in Sacramento.
Our very own Marcus Allen is trending right now.
25 years! Congratulations, good day.
Greta Gerwig is under the tent, walking down the red carpet along with her Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie.
They just presented him with an award for leadership, given in recognition of exceptional guidance, role modeling, and encouragement to many people from different walks of life.
I'm on live local morning television, which I love, and then I do a syndicated show called Take a Look. And we do a half-hour special on big movies where we go behind the scenes with the cast on the set.
What's the biggest emotional impact that a career point has had on you? You're literally one of the nicest people I've ever met. How the hell do you produce horror movies? Where does that come from?
I don't know. The horror movies are more fun to make. They just are.
The most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you on live. You've done
Where
a lot
do I
of.
start? I've ripped biceps. I've broken an ankle on live TV. I got knocked out on live television. I was trying to be silly and I was wearing a tuxedo wakeboarding. My pants fell off.
What is the most awkward thing you've encountered when you've done these celebrity interviews? I saw the one with Tom Hardy giving you guff about the.
Oh my gosh.
You mean I'm not funny?
I think you're extremely funny. I just haven't seen it on camera
Okay,
often.
cool. Thanks for that, bud.
Last time when we met on the show, I wasn't aware your son is a burn survivor. Could you tell that story and what that was like as a parent and facing your child going through mortal danger like that?
Oh my gosh. It's that call you never want to get.
Congrats, and especially since we last talked. Your resume was already impressive and your accolades and the ridiculous Emmys and the PGA, but you do so many things. I want to hear, what do you do? To explain to the audience.
What do I do in relation to these movies, or just all
Take
together?
a look. You've got you do a lot of different things. You're one of the low-key, most successful people in entertainment in Sacramento.
I'm just trying to stay busy.
Hey, you hustle.
I've got because as you know, I get in trouble if I don't stay busy. So I work for ABC television locally. Got a 3-year deal on that. So I'm on live local morning television, which I love. There's just something about the excitement of waking up and it's a new day and something different's going to happen. And then I do a syndicated show called Take a Look. That's in 18 U.S. markets and 177 different countries and territories worldwide. And the content for that is gathered either in New York or LA, mostly LA. Then we do a half-hour special on big movies where we go behind the scenes with the cast on the set, or sometimes just dish it up about a bunch of different movies or streaming series.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking A-listers too. You've sat down across, just like we're doing here, from the biggest names in entertainment.
Well, we got a lucky break. Right when we started it, my boss said, we're not expecting anything great to write home about off the bat. But if you can get someone that people know and for your initial episode. So I just started making some calls and I said, hey, I think I've got something good. We're going to be going behind the scenes of the Fall Guy movie.
Oh,
if
there
that's
you
okay.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling and the rest of the cast are taking us behind
That'll
the
work.
scenes. So our first episode was a half-hour special dedicated to the Fall Guy.
What did that look like to get to Ryan Gosling? How many calls? Who did you know?
No.
I'm curious how that works behind the scenes in Hollywood.
Well, I knew that it was a Universal Picture releasing, and this woman named Susie Hayasaka that used to be my intern way back in my other life in radio had risen up the chains in publicity and had become the senior feature film publicist for Universal Pictures years ago. But as a result of knowing her, I knew her whole chain of command. Kind of reached out to them, and they said, yeah, well, we might be able to do something with Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling for Fall Guy. And
Sick.
boom, it happened.
It did.
So we did a half-hour special on that, and then another big half-hour special on last summer's big Planet of the Apes movie. We did a half-hour special last winter on the first Wicked. We expect to do another one with the entire cast in a couple months for the new sequel. Not sequel, part 2. No, it happened. It worked out.
Yeah.
And when I think, this is going to be the drought because I'm not getting any content, and doing this show, this content machine, you need to feed it constantly.
You do.
And just when I think I'm about to hit a drought, I get a call. A couple weeks ago, I didn't know what we were going to do for this week. And they said, have you heard about Weapons? And I said, no. And they said, it's a horror movie that's going to change the industry, like Jaws did 50 years ago. And so I got to do a half-hour special on that with Josh Brolin and the cast. And it is a great movie.
That. Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with that movie because it's a really great movie.
Yeah.
I have to
haven't seen the
follow
movie.
that with my dinky little horror movie.
Hey, man, what about Saw? That's what people would have called that dinky. You never know.
Yeah,
You never know what's going to strike a nerve. And we're all getting packages to our house constantly. So
Right.
the concept of...
Yeah, that's the concept of the movie. So in our movie, and we first set out to make a movie about the same size and scope of the original 1978 Halloween. And in that movie, it starts out with a demented kid who does something really bad, gets institutionalized, and then he breaks out on the 30th anniversary of that night to wreak havoc on a small town.
Yeah.
So our movie, this little kid does some horrific things, gets institutionalized, but systematically, because of overcrowding, he gets ejected accidentally just because of a system glitch.
Oh, wow.
And he's given a job because the state has a right to work program. So he's given a job as a delivery driver
Oh, boy.
and sent to a small town.
Okay. That's not unrealistic or anything. that's
It
why
can
it's creepy.
happen.
No, that's what I meant. That's not... That's actually realistic.
It
that
could
concept.
happen,
However,
right.
the grammar of that flows out.
It could be. Well, when we thought of that, we thought it was kind of silly. That's not going to happen. But then some headlines came out that
Oh, that could happen.
so
For
already the headlines, there are a lot of delivery drivers that
For
aren't
sure.
quite vetted.
Yeah.
And they have access to your house now.
I know. Gate codes, the whole thing. Here's what I wanted to ask. All right. People, if you've seen the last episode, they know about the charities and they know about your personal stories and stuff.
Sure.
You're literally one of the nicest people I've ever met. And anybody that has run into you is also saying the same thing.
Well, back at you.
How the hell do you produce horror movies? Where does that come from?
I don't know, because I don't want bad things to happen to people all the time, but I want to entertain people. And I've made comedies, and I made a sports drama, an inspirational sports drama. But something about the horror movies are more fun to make.
Yeah.
They just are.
What's the inspiration for it? Did you like them as a kid or what?
I think so. I mean, look, we're at the 50th anniversary of Jaws. And that movie changed my life.
Okay.
And a lot of people go, that's not a horror movie. Yeah, it's absolutely
It sure
a horror
is
movie.
a horror movie. How did you feel after?
Exactly. So that movie changed my life, and here I am making movies like that. And like I loved to watch that movie. The same way people eat like food that's way too spicy.
Good point. That's a good analogy. Yeah.
They like the pain. They
Yeah,
like the scare.
I figure people that would be able to make stuff like that are like creepy in real life. Not at all. Not
Something's
at all.
going on in
Speaking of
there.
that, hold on. Let me show this one time.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to show it one time.
Okay.
Guys, what are we going to talk about today? Do not miss this. Come on.
Don't answer.
Don't answer. Don't answer. Hey, if you order from Amazon, don't watch that movie.
Well, it's funny.
Except also watch the movie.
When I came over to your house, I rang your doorbell and I saw that you had all the security cameras in, and I thought, wait a minute, that's the exact same thing that's on my poster.
Exactly.
I was about to lean in and put my eyeball in your camera, and then I remembered that's on the poster.
So tell me about that. You were just cruising through some little town and had the idea to make this, or what?
Like, making independent films is hard work, and my producing partner and I, at the end of our last movie, Amy's Effort List, said, let's just table this for a while. Let's not make another movie for a little while. Let's just relax and reap the success of the other movies for a minute. And then he called me a week after he said that and said, I think I want to make another movie. And I said, I do too. He said, what kind? I said, let's go back. Let's make a horror movie. It's been a while since we made a really good horror movie. And we just decided to make one about the same size and scope of the original Halloween.
Yeah.
And we said, let's set it in a small town. And so he and I, at that moment, went on a road trip to try to find a small town that fit the bill. And we found this little town that's an unincorporated city called Nicholas.
Okay.
It's one of those, literally an intersection with a post office, a hair salon, a couple creepy-looking, antiquated, haunted-looking houses.
Yeah, it fits.
And a market and a post office.
There you go.
And so that's the town of Nicholas, and we took over the entire town to shoot this movie about a year after we had that idea.
What does that look like? You got to talk to the mayor and stuff like that, or what?
Well, it's funny you say that because I said, he goes, how do you know this town? And I said, a friend of mine has or used to have a big paintball facility where they would go out and just take over acres upon acres with paintball fights. And I might still know him, and found his number, called him, said, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. He showed up in 5 minutes, and he's kind of the informal mayor of the town. He said, you need the post office, you need the hair salon, you need the house. That's my house. He seemed to know everybody and everything about that county.
Awesome.
So shout out, Bruce.
Yeah, there you go. Right on. Well, I was curious on the interviews. What is the most awkward thing you've encountered when you've done these celebrity interviews? I saw the one with Tom Hardy giving you guff about the.
Oh my gosh!
Was
the
that
thing
it?
about that one, when that was taking place, I I actually liked it because you want something interesting to happen.
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy's like not an easy interview. Great actor.
Yeah.
Brilliant actor.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he intimidates the heck out of me. He typically gives me a relatively flat interview.
Yeah.
And in this one, for this movie, Venom, and it was the very first Venom movie, so that would have been, oh my gosh, that was 7 years ago. Time flies.
Was.
And I just said, hey, what surprised me is how funny you are in the movie. And he said, oh, you don't think I'm funny? I'm not funny.
A world-class actor. I couldn't tell if he was kidding or not.
Right.
I thought, dude, Mark, you got to get out, pull out, man.
Right. Warning, danger, pull up. He goes, I'm not funny to you? And that surprised you. And I said, no. Not that you're not funny. I've just never seen you be funny.
Yeah.
You've never seen me be funny? Was I trying to be funny? Like, it just can't get any worse.
Yeah. He was taking you
his
layers.
co-star in it, Riz Ahmed, could tell that he was having fun, like playing with his food.
Yeah.
And just kept jabbing him.
Yeah. Was that the most awkward moment?
No, I mean, there are people that aren't comfortable in their skins. Like some of the most iconic, amazing, charismatic actors or characters that you've ever seen are played by people that aren't necessarily comfortable or charismatic.
Really?
And so it surprises me when, so like Harrison Ford, for instance. There's no one greater or more dynamic than Indiana
Incredible.
Jones
Yeah.
or Han Solo. But then if you interview Harrison Ford, he just acts like he wants to be anywhere else.
Really?
No matter what you ask him. Here, I'll do an impression of Harrison
Okay.
Ford. You're talking to Harrison Ford. Imagine something you might ask Harrison Ford.
Harrison, when you had to relate to the Fugitive interview, that was so hard to watch and so striking in you. There was some sort of embodiment. Do you have an experience like I can't do it, Mark. Do you have an experience like that in your life that made you relate to
Well, I just read the script. Stand on my mark, kid.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
He acts like he's in pain.
Oh, my gosh.
During your question, he just looks like it's starting to hurt him. He's digging in. He looks around there and goes, the Millennium Falcon doesn't really fly, kid.
Oh, man. I wouldn't have thought that. I would think like people are as charismatic off screen as they are on screen. Like
Some are.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, as weird or mechanical as some people might think he is one of the nicest guys to talk to. Super
cool.
pleasant.
Yeah, that's cool. I've seen you've hit him on the red carpet a couple times. He comes up and says hi, gives you the time of day. You've interviewed him.
Interviewed thousands of people, yet he'll remember something that you talked about 2 years ago in Ibiza.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What about live TV? What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you on live? You've done
Where
a lot
do I
of.
start?
How many hours have you done?
Oh my gosh, over 25,000 hours of
Yeah.
live TV, and I think that was 10 years ago. So more than that now. Countless things. You name it, it's happened on live TV. I was wakeboarding and my wakeboard shorts. No, I was trying to be silly and I was wearing a tuxedo wakeboarding on TV out at Wake Island in Roseville, California. And going around one of the turns on live TV, my pants fell off.
That's pretty good.
On live TV.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That was a rough one.
That's.
I was interviewing Evel Knievel one time. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Before your time, technically. But it was at the end of his career, and we were having a conversation on live TV, and his son had just jumped, tried to duplicate one of his stunts, jumping so many RVs. And I said, so what did you think of Robbie's jump last week? And he said, well, I'm just glad I talked to him beforehand because he wasn't going to use a landing ramp, and he put his landing ramp in, and had he not done that, it would have decapitated him. And then jokingly, I said, which would have ended his career? He goes, don't you know what decapitated means? Are you stupid? Decapitated means your head gets cut off.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that was an awkward, live, embarrassing moment.
Yep. Wow.
There have been so many bad live things that have taken place. I've ripped biceps. I've broken an ankle on live TV. I got knocked out on live television.
Oh yeah, the car, right?
Now, have you seen those kite tubes? I think they're outlawed now. But you go to the lake and you pull tubes around violently behind a boat, right? Well, they started making them bigger and flatter, and they would catch air. And so this company, several of them, started designing kite tubes specifically to catch air, to levitate for a while, like an airfoil. Mm-hmm. Well, they had me trying one out long before they were outlawed, and it inverted and went down 60 miles an hour, 60 knots forward speed, and down, and knocked me out on live TV. And what's worse, the anchors didn't know or care that I'd been knocked out.
Wow.
I'm still on live TV. And one of the anchors said, "Oh, there he is. Look, he's okay." And at this point, it's just like my helmet bobbing up and down in the water. I wasn't even aware I was on TV at that point.
Dude, you've had so many injuries in TV. I didn't know it was such a dangerous career. I think you just work that hard. Like
I think for lack of I don't want to get bored, so I always try to do something. And I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I like to try to do interesting things.
Where does that drive come from in you? Is there a childhood event that you hold on to, or something that happened where you're like, I'm never gonna not be somebody? Or I mean, where does that come from? Have you always been this driven?
I don't know. Like I some of it comes from Evel Knievel. As when I was a little kid, we didn't have X Games or anything like that, or all the motocross wasn't then what it is now. So to see some knucklehead do something that you're not supposed to do on a motorcycle, jump it all over these cars, and then also tumble a little bit, and then get back up and do it again the next year. Just you want to try that on for size every now and then.
Okay. What about your motor? Like I don't think you sleep that much, and you like you're one of these guys that can eat a ton and never put weight on, just high metabolism. You always been like that?
I do have to move from point A to point B quite a bit. I'm like at least twice a week. I'm literally running through an airport. And someone said, "What do you do to work out?" And I said, "I run through airports." And they said, "No, really?" And honestly, I think there are several months that's the only exercise I'm getting.
Well, it works, man. Aging well.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Trying to stay in the game. I want to be thoroughly used up when I'm done, but I don't think I'm quite done yet.
No, I think you got a lot of runway, especially in the production side. I think that's going to keep compounding on itself.
I think so.
Some cool stuff coming.
It's hard at the production side. People go, "Do you ever want to slow down and move to the other side of the camera?" It's so much harder on the other side of the camera.
In what way?
Administrative. They're like just mind-numbing piles of administrative that have to be done.
Yeah. We talked about the physical implications and, the navigating career. What's the biggest emotional impact that a career point has had on you?
I think just when things add up over time. I met a kid years ago in my other life when I was doing radio. Again, I wanted to do a stunt to make it interesting. And I'd said, "Hey, there are all these like billboard sitters, flagpole sitters, but they do it for like a week. What if we do it for a month during the heat wave of the summer?" And they said, "Yeah, let's do it. We'll nominate a cause." And so I had met someone that had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, this kid named Danny, and I knew he was supported by the Muscular Dystrophy Association. So I said, "Let's make it for MDA this year." And so we did this big stunt for MDA where I lived on a highway billboard 24 hours a day for a month. And in fact, fell off of it and broke both of my legs.
Tell it.
Went back up on it because I didn't want to get fired. Not that I would have, but at that time I thought, they're going to fire me if this doesn't go well. So the American River Fire Department actually put me back up on top of this billboard so I could serve the cause, and did it. And I think we raised like, not a huge amount at that time, maybe $50,000. And then the next year we did another stunt. I lived on an island for a month.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Crawdads, a restaurant on the river, used to have a floating volleyball court. And at this point, it had become dilapidated. So we purchased it from them and then piled 15 tons of landscaping on it to make it look like an island and set it right in the middle of the Sacramento River.
Wow.
And then took donations for an entire month for muscular dystrophy and raised a ton of money. And so I think just through the years, so all the people that I met with MD through it, and also seeing them live their sadly very short lives. And then at the end of it, like seeing the number that it was like $10.5 million that we raised at last count.
That's really cool. So it was seeing people with disabilities and made you more
grateful.
Yeah,
seeing the difference it made, and knowing that at one point it was just kind of a close your eyes, that charity.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden you really become invested in that charity.
Yeah.
You get to know it and you see the cause and the change. I mean, in that time when we were raising money, that original guy that I met, Danny Hansen, who became a dear friend, who had Duchenne's, he was only supposed to live to be 17, I think, ended up living to 30.
Wow.
And during his lifetime, they isolated the gene that's responsible for Duchenne's even being a thing. And so in the future, they'll be able to spot that, reverse it before birth.
What kind of did that transform your perspective on life at all?
Yeah, just to like always look. So don't just blindly stab at a charity. Look some way. Look for someone that needs help and help them.
Right.
And I'll be the first to admit that it wasn't for heart or cause or soul. It was just to attach some kind of legitimacy onto a stupid stunt I was doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
And
It turned out to be beautiful.
and very quickly I realized, no, I mean, find someone that needs help and then engineer something ridiculous to raise money. But the result's the same. Go into it for the right reasons.
I like that. That's really cool. Well, what's something about your personal life that you want someone to ask you that you've never been asked on camera? Or something you'd love to talk about?
Oh my gosh, something about my personal life that I've never been asked?
Yeah, or just philosophies, like who you are, ventriloquism, for example. That would have been one.
I'm out of here. I told you never to ask about that.
We know about that one.
My wife jokes about it all the time. She said, I can't say some of the things she said, but she said, I'll translate a little bit. She said, so ventriloquism at the age of 15, I bet that you weren't very popular with the ladies. No, I wasn't. Nope, that didn't work out so well. That might be why I left ventriloquism behind. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I am a ventriloquist. And had it not been for ventriloquism, I wouldn't be here.
Huh. Yeah. Check the last episode out. I'll explain a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. What about parenting? How was that for you? Like, what were your favorite parts, highs and lows?
I'm not the most paternal person. And so my ex-wife came from a big family. She knew she wanted to have kids and a ton of them. And so when we got married, I knew it was inevitable. We were going to have a bunch of kids. And we had 3. And I'm so grateful for that because I can't imagine life without them. It's made such a difference in my life. And I don't think I was the best dad, but I don't think I was the worst dad. And a lot of it you learn along the way.
Why do you say that? Not the best dad?
I think
Where did your brain go?
I think at that time, I look back and I was gone a lot, but I was also home a lot, but to be gone 50% of the time.
Were you present when you were home, at least?
I would say I was not as present as I could have and should have been. Sometimes I was, sometimes I wasn't.
Yeah, my dad was gone like 50% of the time. And it's not, as a kid, I don't remember feeling like that was a ton. So maybe they're not seeing it that way, but I can see.
When your dad was home, was he present?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For the most part. Yeah. So
I look back, I mean, I always apologize to my kids for not being present. And they said, for the most part, they say I was and that they can't imagine a different dad or a better life.
there you go.
We did
Go
have
with
fun
that.
times. We still have fun times.
Yeah.
I'm closer to my children now than I've ever been. So that must mean that my parenting's coming along. It's getting better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They say the sign of a good parent is when you're in their when you're a grandparent.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
That's it. 2 of my 3 kids return my calls.
There
That's
you
not
go.
bad.
You have 3.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you had 2.
No.
Wow.
I have a daughter and 2 sons.
Last time when we met on the show, I wasn't aware your son is a burn survivor. Could you tell that story and what that was like as a parent and facing your child going through mortal danger like that?
Oh my gosh. It's that call you never want to get. It was the tail end of the pandemic, but things weren't still quite open. So schools couldn't have proms. And so schools tried to find workaround solutions like having a somewhat distanced thing in someone's backyard. So his school had kind of an unauthorized semi-prom gathering at someone's backyard. And they had multiple fire pits throughout the backyard. My son and his friend were sitting beside one. And someone else wanted to beef the fire up a little bit and went around on the other side and grabbed a 5-gallon drum of gasoline that was full, started to pour it. Before gas could even come out of it, the fumes, which are infinitely more flammable than the liquid itself, caught and just
Like
created
a flamethrower.
A flamethrower cannon. Just exploded gasoline all over my son and his friend. And they say stop, drop, and roll. That's what you always hear if you catch on fire for some reason. But shock set in, and both of them just started running around. My son ran into the house on fire and back out, and then was tackled on the concrete patio. So got banged up from that, and then doused the fires. And the fire department came. About that time, we got the call and realized we might be able to get there before the fire department, even before the ambulance crew gets there, certainly before they take him. So we got there with about 30 seconds to spare before they loaded him into the ambulance. And he was all bundled up. And so we didn't even really know the extent of the injuries.
Yeah.
And he was talking, and looking back on it, I don't know if he had been given morphine at that time or not, or if he was just in shock, but he was, soft-spoken, but saying, hey, Mom, Dad, sorry that we bothered you. So don't worry about us. Let's get you taken care of. And so we got in the car and started following the ambulance and got to the hospital, not even knowing the extent of his injuries, that he was almost 50% of his body, substantial.
Yeah.
So he and his friend spent that summer kind of fighting for the life in the beginning, and
Was it literally
getting
fighting
better.
for the life? Like
in
infections
the
and
beginning, it was
stuff?
kind of in touch and go.
Yeah.
Lots of infections setting in.
Yeah.
And then my son had a reaction to lidocaine, which when you're going through this, it's like, how often do we hear fentanyl and death and fentanyl and death, right? And then you see an IV bag that says fentanyl on it. He's getting an elephant's dose of fentanyl on top of an elephant's dose of morphine. And then they were trying to ease the pain with something called, I think, lidocaine.
Yeah.
The liquid form of that. And he had a reaction to it, and it made him go psychosis. He
wow.
automatically started seeing monsters, swatting at imaginary monsters and attacking all of the staff. It took me and 8 nurses to try to hold him down. And at this point, he had ripped a lot of his, a lot of the surgeries apart.
Oh, boy.
And the surgeries are attaching skin that they've harvested from some other part of his body, right? And so it's really sad, because when that attack and episode took place, he destroyed, and so they have to harvest more skin, which damages more of the body, temporarily, albeit. That went deep and dark, but I will tell you that he did heal quite well after that. He's had all of his surgeries. He's doing great. At one point he said, it's nothing a wetsuit can't cover. And he's very active, big in water sports.
I like that. Positive
Wakeboarding,
guy.
wakeboarding, surfing, snowboarding.
How did that impact you?
Yeah, it just makes you appreciate every day with him that much more. And I think that's when I really started getting reflective. Did I really need to travel that much? Was I really present enough when I was home? So, I mean, yeah, it made me appreciate everything that much more.
Yeah.
Wasted a few times since.
That's awesome. So you guys are closer from it.
Super closer from that. And he's one of the coolest guys. He's the kid I wish I could have hung out with when I was a kid. He was part of a stratosphere of kids that wouldn't have even talked to me. You know why? Because I was a ventriloquist. Yeah.
How old is
he's
he
a
now?
cool kid. He's 23 years old. Long-haired surfer, hippie-looking kid. Graduated from San Luis Obispo, and then right now he's just kind of figuring out what his next step's going to be. But he works for an executive, a luxury 55 and older community. And a lot of the seniors that he's talking to and waiting on at the Cabana or wherever, you think about it, they graduated high school in 68 or 69.
Yeah.
They were long-haired hippie kids.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
they love him.
Yeah, they're
It's
relating
like a
to him.
flashback for them.
That's cool. He's probably making cool connections, too.
Yeah,
Bunch of
that's what I
executives.
said. I said, ask everybody who they are and what they do. Find out what they did in life. I bet you might learn something.
Yeah. What's also crazy is that successful people, they want to help other people become successful. I didn't know that. Like when you see like a Mark S. Allen or notable characters or business tycoons, whatever you want to call it, if you go ask them for help, like, hey, my life's here, I'm trying to get here. Can we get coffee? Can we meet? Can I learn from you? When they recognize that, oh, this guy's trying to get somewhere, people want to help you.
Right.
And so absolutely ask who they are. What did they do? And how do I get where you are? It's really surprising how much info and time successful people will give just to try to help, because people help them.
And I think successful people, they see that quality, that willingness to do what it takes in people. Like, I think you see someone that just wants it overnight, wants it to be handed to them.
Yeah, you can feel that for sure.
You can feel that.
Yeah.
And I remember when I met you, I just thought, well, like, you're going to figure this out. You're going to see what it takes.
Yeah, I'm gonna make. I love it.
And I think when you first started, I told you I don't know the exact ins and outs of creating your own content like this, but I know that it's a lot of work, and if you do it consistently, you will be very successful at it.
Yeah. It's really morphed. Like I started out like, okay, I need to do this. I started out trying to pick my audience and appeal to the audience and figure out how do I capture attention and all the things we go through. it's since morphed into actually, I don't care. Like, here's what I want to know from the guests, and here's who I want to talk to.
Right.
And then it really started getting traction. And as AI takes off, I think people are looking for this, just two people sitting down and connecting over BS and asking questions, not asking questions, just a human interaction. Like, how would it look in person if we didn't know each other and we sat on an airplane next to each other? You know, this is that's what people are looking for.
And it, like, I like a conversation to be organic and to have like some bumps in it, and like to be a little gritty and not perfect.
For sure.
And AI just seems all too perfect and too sustained.
You can feel it too. And it also takes like 15, 20 minutes in here to really like crack the crust off and feel a little stiff. And it's just how when you meet someone in real life, you know, and I think people appreciate that. Like when I started, I used to cut those parts out. Like, oh, people don't want to see two people trying to like find their vibe together. And they actually do.
Right.
They definitely do. That's real human interaction.
I'm glad I pretty much am the same, because I remember when I came into the room, I thought, what did I do? Did I curse? Did I say anything that I don't want out there?
No.
I don't curse often, but
I try not to.
It could have happened.
Yeah. No, I don't remember it. Dude, what do you think like the low points that you've experienced in life have taught you that success couldn't teach you?
That it's all going to work out. That it time marches on. Eventually, the things that you think you'll never get over, or if you've made a mistake that you think that you'll never recover from, it's all going to go away. Like, just like the seasons, like the rain's going to come wash it away. You can start over again.
I like that.
So,
it's easier to see that as you age too. I mean, I'm 42, almost 43, but I'm now seeing that even the worst seasons in life, they'll pass, dude. Just hang on. Don't make stupid decisions.
Right.
It's not going to feel like this forever. But when you're young, it's hard. Like a year at 23 is a completely different percentage of time than a year at like 42.
A month at 23.
So that's, exactly.
And I think as you get older, like I tell everybody, for the rest of your life, always take risks. But just make them more intelligent, calculated risk. But you should always be taking risks.
In what way? Expand on that a little bit.
Like this. I don't know if you left another career behind entirely to do this, but this had to be a risk for you at some point. And an investment. You never knew if you were going to get return on investment in this microphone or these cameras.
That's true.
But I guarantee you have, and you'll see infinitely more.
Yeah.
But that was a risk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
As opposed to like dumb risk, like jumping off of a water tower.
That's also
how deep is that snow? I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
You gotta jump in.
Right.
Yeah. I think the hardest part for people when they think about doing something like this, creating something or taking a risk, is other people's opinions. And you learn real quick if you jump into any sort of entertainment that if you're hung up by what people think of you, it's going to just crush your momentum. You know what I'm talking about? It's like if you're hanging on every like you get on Instagram and you can't post because this person's going to think that of me, you got to squash that real quick. Did you ever experience that? Like insecurity about what other people might think if I want to go be on the radio or if I want to go be on TV? Did you have to push through that?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I was super shy about it in the beginning. It's the whole reason I changed my name, because my name's not really Mark S. Allen. It's something slightly different. And when I was in high school, when I landed my first radio job, and I didn't want the kids to know it was me, so I changed my name a little bit. I wouldn't have done that now. So I did experience that. The best thing that happened to me once I was full-time in radio, and I was moving up to bigger markets and had moved to LA. Back in the day, long before we had like digital analytics to see how things were going, there used to be companies that made a tremendous amount of money doing research for radio station or broadcast companies or a brand, whether it's a new donut you've created or a new breakfast cereal. They have these research companies that would let you know how the product's doing. Same for radio. So when I was in LA radio, one of my bosses said, "Hey, do you know what a focus group is?" I have no idea. He said, "Well, it's where they essentially go to the mall, they round up demos, and demos would be the demographic that the radio station's going for. So let's say 102.7 KISS FM in Los Angeles is going for, mostly, they'll take anybody, but specifically their audience they know is supposed to be 18 to 34-year-old women at its peak. So they round up 18 to 34-year-old women. And I think for KISS FM was like 1834 all over the board, like men and women. So they go through them all and they try to round up as many people as they can get to sit in a room for 2 hours to listen to a discussion by paying them X amount of dollars. once they get these people around the table in this room and a leader is leading this focus group, there's a big mirror, almost like a deposition cell in a jail where they're detaining someone, asking them questions. It's set like that, like a deposition room. There's a big mirror. It's two-sided. On the other side of that mirror are statisticians and also representatives from that broadcasting company, that radio
That's
station.
not creepy.
That's not creepy at all. So he said, they're doing a focus group. And I think we're going to test nights, see how you're doing at nights. Do you want to be a part of it? I said, what do I do? He said, just come watch. So I got to sit on the other side of that two-way mirror, just sipping beverages, watching 18 people sit around a round table while someone said, all right, let's play this. And so they would play a tape of my show on Kiss FM. And for that matter, everybody that was on the other stations as well. Do you like this person, dislike this person? What do you think of this person? Rate them this way and this way. So to be a fly on the wall in that focus group, to hear them rip me to shreds.
Dang it.
And then all of a sudden there might be one person over here don't think, I kind of like him. I think he's okay. No, he's horrible. He's the worst. He's an example of what's wrong with radio today. To hear that, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's like they say stand-up comics. Stand-ups say you have to bomb 100 times before you're ever going to be good. And so I think it's just getting kind of negative feedback and knowing what to do with it.
It's hard at first. I've taken a couple shots that it's obvious, like, okay, the person's jealous or this person's having a bad day or they're having mental instability issues, but
Right.
still kind of stings a little bit. A couple days later, you're like, F that person, thinking about it. Do you just get numb to that after a while?
I think so. Like famous A-list actors and Academy Award winners will tell you they never read the reviews. Because if you put too much into the good reviews, then when you get the negative ones, you'll put too much into that.
Yeah. And
So-
too much in the negative, it starts dictating your creativity and content.
So they just do the work. And who are the people critiquing it? And so early on, and then when the internet came around and social media, like I saw it all. I saw good things and bad things. Like I could post something right now and people would pile on and say something good and something bad.
Yep.
What did I just the other day? Do you know who Penn Jillette is?
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Dude, I reached out to them a little. I saw he was in town on the 4th. I actually.
You should have talked to him.
I know. I reached out, but I should have gone through you. I didn't know you'd met with him.
I should have thought about that. I should have connected. That would have been an interview I would have liked to have heard. You talking to Penn Jillette. I hosted nothing like this, but a more book-oriented, specifically about his book, a Q&A with him for an audience. And they had posted, hey, Marcus Allen, an evening with Penn Jillette. And I saw on Reddit someone said, why is Marcus Allen's name even being mentioned with Penn Jillette? Marcus Allen's not relative. He's not relevant enough to do stand-up at an open mic night, let alone be in the room with Penn Jillette.
God.
Why was that necessary?
Yeah, why? That's what's so bizarre. You can see some people, because I've seen some shots at me, not the Vibe with Humanity, because nobody really picks on people coming in and sharing their personal stories. But my channel, I told you, the Big Brother Wisdom, I've taken some shots and I'm like, dude, you must have put thought into that. I mean, you really sat back and how can I just hurt this dude the most?
Yeah.
And it's water off a duck's back, but people are odd for doing that. That's a very odd character trait to want to sit down and try to penetrate someone's emotional armor, I guess, through words. I don't know how to describe it, but
No kidding.
comes with the gig, I guess.
I try to own it, listen to it, but more importantly, try to be a better person just the way I treat other people. Because there's probably someone, you don't know who it is, or maybe you don't have anyone like this, but there are people on TV and in films that I don't like, and I don't know why I don't like them. I hate that guy. Well, when I start hearing all of these trolls pile on and say these things, it makes me find out what's that voice in me that goes, I hate that guy. And I address it and I stop hating that guy.
That's a good point.
So Ryan Seacrest, I hope you'll forgive me. I don't mean it personally. But I remember when he first came up, I go, I don't know what it is about that guy, but I don't like him.
That's so fun. Dude,
Only now realizing that how many people say, I don't know what it is about that Mark Allen guy, but I don't like him.
I never hear that feedback on it.
I don't
Makes
know.
you feel better. But yeah, it's weird. And the weird thing is people that do that, other people see you're the weirdo for writing that. And then people that are successful, they're not going to come and bash someone for trying to be successful because they started at the same place. It's
Right.
usually the people that are watching someone chase a dream one step at a time and realizing they don't have the guts to do it. So let me just knock this person down. That's
Why is it that people are so more likely to write something negative than to write something positive, even if they feel something positive?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
We got to fix that.
Yeah, well, hey,
right.
we're going for it.
We want world peace, end starvation worldwide, and fix that thing about people trolling on the internet.
That's right.
After all that's taken care of.
Right on. Thanks for joining, man. Anything anything else the little break in this? I over prepped for this, so I've been trying to kind of
Okay.
which I shouldn't have done, but yeah, what
No.
are you thinking? How you feeling? I just kind of sat you down and
It's not a promotional machine, but I would love for people to watch the movie Don't Answer. It hits theaters in September and then starts streaming. Right. And then you can troll on it, tell me how much you hate my movie. And in the meantime, watch Don't Answer and our special on weapons with Josh Brolin.
I love it. All engagement's good engagement, right?
All
Negative-
engagement is good engagement. I mean, look at Howard Stern. Like he said, he's an incredibly wealthy person, not just because of the people that love him, but because all the people that listen to him to see what he would say next because they hate him so much.
Yeah.
So you never know.
I remember that from that movie. Something about the average Stern listener listens for 10 seconds, but the average Stern hater listens for 20 or something. Like that.
That was in Private Parts. That's right. Mad love to what you and your family are doing. Your show is amazing. All the
Thank you.
tentacles of this that you've created are amazing.
Thank you.
Keep it
Appreciate
up.
that.
And thanks for shining light on people infinitely better than me and more important than me.
Right
I
on.
learned a lot from them.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining. Good luck. When's this come out?
Theaters early September, streaming right after that on all platforms.
Okay.
All right, brother.
Good luck. It's going to be fun.
Thanks, dude.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me.